Dooby-dooby-doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now. Come on, Scooby-Doo, I see you. Pretending you got a sliver. You're not fooling me, 'cause I can see the way you shake and shiver.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Scooby-Doo News Crew Daily Broadcast. I'm Bethany Ison.
And I'm Grace Crank. Let's check out what's happening around Cincinnati.
On December 19th, the U.S. Bank Ice Rink downtown is going to begin its holiday hours. From then until January 4th, the rink will be open from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day instead of the shorter hours it is currently using. The large skating arena provides a place for adults and children alike to engage in a beloved winter activity. Admission is just $6 and skates can be rented for $4. Be on the watch for pickpockets trying to steal wallets or items left outside the rink, but as long as you keep your money in a safe place, feel free to go out and have a blast.
Now in world news. A 24-year-old reporter for CBS and her cameraman were murdered during a live broadcast. The interviewee is in stable condition after the event in Moetta, Virginia. On Wednesday, August 26, Adam Ward and Allison Parker were shot during their live broadcast in Moetta. The accused suspect, Vester Flanagan, had pulled a gun on them while recording himself doing it. Many suspect his actions were due to the bullying he had often endured due to his race and sexuality. Two CBS employees, Adam Ward and Allison Parker, are still being mourned after the horrendous incident, and they will always be in our hearts.
Hi there, I'm Jet Taylor reporting for the Scooby-Doo News Crew with some updates in sports. The Bengals took on the Raiders for the first game of the season, winning with a dominating score of 33-13. Dalton threw for 269 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Hill ran for 2 scores to help the Cincinnati Bengals spoil Coach Jack Del Rio's debut in Oakland. Let's take a look.
5-1 last year, lost to the Colts in the first round of the postseason. Dalton's pass to the end zone, caught. Touchdown Cincinnati. Tyler Eifert with his second score of the day. He used his body to get around DJ Hayden.
The game couldn't have gone worse for the Raiders, who were held scoreless until midway through the fourth quarter in Del Rio's first game as coach. In conclusion, Marvin Lewis led the Bengals from the beginning, winning 33-13, and were the only team in their division who didn't lose their first game. It looks like the Bengals are off to a good start. At Michigan Stadium on Saturday, the Michigan State Spartans pulled out a surprising victory against one of their biggest rivals, the Michigan Wolverines. The final score was 27-23 MSU, courtesy of an outstanding play by Jalen Watts-Jackson in the last 10 seconds of the game. Michigan was ahead by 2, and one of their players was punting the ball when he was tackled. The ball flew up into the air and was caught by Watts-Jackson, who sprinted it into the end zone. Immediately following the play, Michigan players dropped to their knees and started crying, while Watts-Jackson was tackled by his teammates in celebration. During this time of craziness, however, the Michigan State legend dislocated his hip. He is now in the hospital recovering. The extremely talented basketball MVP, Stephen Curry, who plays for the Golden State Warriors, recently broke one of his own records. Curry, known for his impeccable ability to shoot three-pointers, previously held the NBA title for most threes made in a single season at 272, but he raised that number to 276 at the game on Thursday. The Warriors were up against the Los Angeles Lakers at the Valley View Casino Center in San Diego, but the court was covered with wet spots. At one point, Curry tripped due to the slippery conditions, and he was still able to regain control of the ball with some cool moves and score the three. The referees...
Both ends of the floor here in the first quarter, thrilling this sold-out crowd in San Diego. Under 3 minutes to go here in the...
The referees ended up calling the game for safety reasons, but Curry was still able to score 8 three-pointers before it ended. This is Jet Taylor signing out.
Here's an interesting piece of local news for you. With the holidays coming up, it seems like everyone is having packages shipped to their homes. However, in northern Kentucky, a man by the name of Tracy Bush has been stealing deliveries from front porches. After complaints from neighbors who caught Bush stealing from them on camera, the police obtained a search warrant to see what all he has in his home. On Friday, police entered his mother's house, where Bush resides, and found more than 20 packages. Bush has since been arrested on 2 counts of receiving stolen property, and the neighborhood is happy that their Grinch will finally be put behind bars.
Also in world news, the popular chain restaurant Long John Silver's is going to host an International Talk Like a Pirate Day on Saturday. The idea sprouted from the company's mascot of Long John Silver, who was the original peg leg. Customers are encouraged to let their pirate side loose. Patty Royce of Long John Silver's explained that if customers come into the restaurant and talk like a pirate, they'll receive a free fish tender. Sayings such as "Arg, I've come to plunder me free fish" are recommended. Also, those who enter dressed in 3 or more articles of pirate clothing on Saturday will receive a free 2-piece fish tender basket.
Thanks, Bethany and Grace. Now on to entertainment. I'm Grace Thomas.
And I'm Jessie Logeman, bringing you today's entertainment report.
On September 9th, Justin Bieber performed 4 songs, which included Baby, Boyfriend, Where Are You Now, and What Do You Mean on Fox News. Bieber was asked about his thoughts on performing at the halftime Super Bowl show. He seemed very interested and was also very excited for what he has planned to do in the near future. Let's hear what he has to say.
To say hi to us.
Here he comes.
Is this the case?
Justin.
You killed her.
Hey now.
That's okay. Oh, you did a great job. You were fantastic. How did it feel to be back out there?
Felt really good. Yeah, I felt awesome.
Felt awesome?
Yeah.
And I love that they say you're back. You never left. You're Justin Bieber.
Well, I didn't really leave, but I took some time to just do some soul searching for sure.
Now let's take a look into the movies. Mockingjay Part 2 was recently released into the theaters, and it has gotten various responses. Some say they expected more, and some say they were satisfied with the action-filled film. Let's check out this trailer.
Snow has to pay for what he's done.
We all have one enemy. He corrupts everyone and everything. He turns the best of us against each other. Tonight, turn your weapons to the Capitol.
Go to a movie theater near you and see what happens next in Katniss and Peeta's heart-wrenching love story.
Lamar Odom, a former NBA star for the Los Angeles Lakers, has been in the hospital for nearly a week after he was found unconscious from drugs and multiple strokes. Miraculously, he awoke on Friday and has since communicated a lot with his loved ones, including his estranged wife, Khloe Kardashian. Considering the fact that many relatives thought Lamar Odom was going to pass away, this is good news. However, there will most likely be a permanent damage to his internal organs, especially his kidneys.
The 67th Primetime Emmy Awards took place in Los Angeles on September 20th, 2015. Viola Davis became the first African-American woman to win an Emmy for the Best Lead Actress on a Drama Series for her role as a defense lawyer on ABC's How to Get Away with Murder. In an impassioned speech, Miss Davis quoted Harriet Tubman and paid tribute to other African-American actresses like Halle Berry and Gabrielle Union.
We'll be back with more news after this public service announcement. I'm Grace Thomas.
And I'm Jessie Logeman. Thanks for watching.
Today I'm going to be talking about a bit of internet safety. Parents and children both can be easily tricked into downloading malicious files off of the many websites out there on the web. There are entire networks of sites which exist only to destroy your computer or even steal your identity. Never listen to anyone who claims to be support unless you are 100% sure that they are from a legitimate source. Some tips to easily identify a fake website are cheap-looking websites, not secure domains, particularly ones without the HTTPS extension, changes in address, and lastly, no header or footer notes. These are all telltale signs of a fake or invalid website. Teach these tips to your kids, and happy surfing.
A nearby tragedy occurred when a 28-year-old man died in a fall Sunday morning at Red River Gorge in northern Kentucky. The man was identified as Timothy James Amiot by the Wolfe County Coroner's Office. He fell down a 200-foot cliff at Chimney Top Rock, according to the Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team. Authorities said it was the 3rd death at Chimney Top this year. The authorities also said Amiot crossed the railing and leapt across the crack to the chimney. Once he landed, he came down hard on his ankle and rolled it, which, combined with his momentum, caused him to fall off the end of the chimney.
Back to world news. In the northern Philippines, a strong typhoon or tropical storm is tearing apart houses, as well as destroying lives. The typhoon, named Typhoon Kapu, began early Sunday morning and is spreading north. Although the storm has caused strong waves, damaging winds of nearly 200 kilometers per hour, plus landslides, the worst effect is the rainfall, which is leading to flooding all around the country. 58 citizens have already died, hundreds have been injured, and tens of thousands have been displaced by the deadly, slow-moving typhoon. The torrential rain is expected to continue for several days. In the meantime, soldiers are helping to clear debris from the roads so transportation services can resume and people can evacuate.
This is Daniel Josche reporting for Scooby-Doo News Crew with your weather. Right now, Cincinnati, temperatures are sitting at around 39 degrees Fahrenheit, precipitation at 71 degrees with humidity at around 81%. Winds coming in from the northwest at around 30 miles per hour. The barometer is reading 29.4. Take a look at the temperature. Seems a bit cool. Nothing too interesting there. For the wind, we're looking at winds coming in from the north and moving across to the south. Tonight, 32 degrees, mostly cloudy, some wind sitting around 13 miles per hour, possible showers. That's going to be around a 60% chance. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, morning clouds, less wind, sitting at around 7 miles per hour with no chance of precipitation. Now, let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. Monday, your high is 41, 31 your low. Tuesday, 34 your high, 32 your low. Wednesday, 45 your high. Thursday, 40 your high, 31 your low. And Friday, 32 your high and 21 your low. I'm Daniel Josche, reporting for Scooby-Doo News Crew.
Let's check out 3 cool narrative reports by some Scooby-Doo News Crew members around the set. Over the Rhine, a neighborhood in southeast Ohio, near Cincinnati, is arguably the largest, most intact historic district in the United States. This region, originally developed in the mid-1800s, was named by the German immigrants who first inhabited it. Many of them had to cross the Miami and Erie Canal to get to work, which separated their district from downtown Cincinnati.
The canal was nicknamed the Rhine because it reminded them of the Rhine River in Germany. When they finished working, the Germans would go back over the Rhine to get to their German area. The immigrants built a profitable brewing industry concentrated along McMicken Avenue and the Miami and Erie Canal. In 1880, Cincinnati was the beer capital of the world, with Over the Rhine as its center. It was also regarded as Cincinnati's premier entertainment district. Near the end of the 19th century, the area's population began to increase rapidly due to the creation of Cincinnati's incline system, which allowed residential areas to be developed in the hills. However, the German residents later suffered epidemics of cholera, smallpox, and typhoid fever, as well as overcrowding, flooding, open sewers, pollution from smoke, and riots. Hence, many relocated to the suburbs. In the 1900s, nearly all of the Germans left Over the Rhine, and they were replaced by African Americans who came in the Great Migration. The area became known for its poverty, which developed into intense crime, disinterest in German history, and gang violence. German culture disappeared, and German buildings began to deteriorate. Cincinnati riots in 2001 brought international attention to the neighborhood and its decay, which fortunately resulted in positive changes. Many operations were put in place to try to revamp the district, and hundreds of millions of dollars have been invested in revitalization projects since 2006. Recently, crime rates have been decreasing drastically, and developers have bought and renovated a large number of historic buildings. Although many of these ornate brick structures were destroyed in the 20th century, 943 historic German chapels, theaters, breweries, and homes still stand. In fact, Over the Rhine contains the largest collection of German and Italian architecture in the United States. Eclectic shops, markets, restaurants, and apartments are constantly being added to Over the Rhine in order to increase its appeal, which has proven very successful. Let's hear what some people have to say about the new and improved neighborhood. First of all, what is your favorite thing about Over the Rhine?
Ice cream.
Okay. What about you?
Musical.
Musical? Okay, good answer.
I like all the different shops. I think it's grown a lot, so there's a lot of different places you can go. A lot of interesting food places and a lot of new, I think, opportunities for shops and people.
My favorite part of Over the Rhine is the sense of community that the stores have with each other. There's always new shops opening, and the current shops are always helping out and sending people down to the new shops, letting people explore the area. So that's probably my favorite part of down here.
The blending of neighborhoods and city life. I like that there's always something to do, and that I can work and hang out and just have a lifestyle within a few blocks of the whole city.
Secondly, do you have any hopes for the future of the neighborhood?
I think it will grow a lot. I hope it does. I know, for example, this shop, it gives small business owners an opportunity to really grow and have a community to fall back on. So I hope it continues to.
For the future, I just hope it continues. I think 42 shops have opened in the past year. So as long as that continues, it's going to be a continuously growing and expanding area with lots of fun things, and just keep it going.
I hope it keeps growing. I hope that they have a good balance of growing economically, but also taking care of the people that lived here first, making sure that it's not a case of really bad gentrification, if I could say that word right.
In the end, it has been stated that in just 6 years, developers have moved Over the Rhine from one of America's poorest, most run-down neighborhoods to among its most promising, as well as Over the Rhine is the best development in the country right now. Come check it out!
Have you ever wondered how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Science now has an answer to the famous question asked in many Tootsie Roll Pop commercials, about 1,000. But is that really the answer? How could we know for sure? A group of engineering students from Purdue University reported that its licking machine, modeled after a human tongue, took an average of 364 licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. 20 of the group's volunteers assumed the licking challenge unassisted by machinery and averaged 252 licks to each center. Let's see what the people around Indian Hill High School think.
Gabby Frillick, how many licks do you think it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
1, 2, 3.
Okay. CJ Allen, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Well, based on diameter, circumference, mass, density, I'd say 318 licks.
8,001. 8,002. Jack Wilson, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
5.
Mr. Ignatz, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
The square root of 121.
10,000 and... Oh, I lost count.
Well, there you have it. How many licks do you think it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
The Cincinnati Bengals are a professional American football franchise that was created in 1996 by a man named Paul Brown. The Bengals lost Super Bowls 82 and 89 both years to the San Francisco 49ers. This clip about to be shown is of Jennings running the ball back from a punt made by the 49ers for a touchdown.
Because that stopped the momentum. Back to NBC now with a kickoff, and look at the Bengals go. All the way, unless Sidney can catch him, he can't. Touchdown, Cincinnati! Oh, my!
After Paul Brown's death in 1991, controlling interest in the team was inherited by his son, Mike Brown. In 2011, Brown purchased shares of the team owned by the estate of co-founder Austin Knowlton, and is now the majority owner of the Bengals franchise. The 1990s and the 2000s were a period of great struggle. The Bengals had several head coaches and several of their top draft picks that did not pan out. Mike Brown, the team's general manager, was rated as among one of the worst team owners in American professional sports. Compounding matters were off-field problems of several players, notably receiver Chris Henry, who was suspended several times during his short professional career and was actually released by the Bengals at one point, but then was re-signed for the 2009 season. Since the 2009 season, however, the team has been moving in the right direction. They traded disgruntled quarterback and former first overall draft pick Carson Palmer to the Oakland Raiders in 2011, turning to then rookie second-round pick Andy Dalton instead. Since then, the Bengals have won at least 10 games per season, ranking highly among NFL teams in win totals. Do you believe that the departure of Carson Palmer from the Cincinnati Bengals in 2010 was for the best? Why or why not?
Yes, I think it was for the best because he had bad feelings toward management and didn't want to be here anymore. And so I think to have a player playing for us who really wants to be somewhere else is not getting the most out of that player for our team.
Coach Marvin Lewis is now the second longest tenured head coach in the NFL, behind the New England Patriots' Bill Belichick. Why do you believe that the Bengals have been able to uphold a record of 9-2 this season?
A broken clock is right twice a day. The Bengals have messed up so many times. I guess it's time they got it right once.
With the help of their number one draft pick, A.J. Green, and their other great wide receiver known as Brandon Tate, the Bengals have been able to maintain first place in their division in the 2015 season.
First time this season they've trailed in a ball game, and they're scoreless in the last 35 minutes here today. Dalton throws. A.J. Green at the 50. Green off to the races. Green still going. A.J. Green at the 5. Touchdown, Cincinnati. 80 yards! What an answer by Dalton and the Bengals!
A.J. Green still manages to propel the Bengals team as a whole today. Go Bengals.
That wraps up today's newscast. I'm Bethany Ison.
And I'm Grace Crank. Thanks for watching Scooby-Doo News, and have a great day.